I just want to say that right now, obviously, bargaining is at a sensitive spot. We've gotten down to the point where we've just got a small number of issues. Obviously, these are the issues that are the most difficult, the ones that we care a lot about, that they care a lot about. So I'm not going to go into lots of details about where that's at, except to say that I have optimism that we're gonna, we're serious about trying to get to a deal. We obviously need to be able to come back and look our members and the students and the community in the city of Chicago in the face and say we did something good for schools. That's going to be the standard that we're going to hold to this. But we're going to work hard, and I think it's within reach. But like I said, we need will on both parties to get there. I'll take some questions. Sure.
Two questions. One question was, at 9:30 Oak Day, there was some talk about a breach of communication. I don't know exactly. Breach of trust. What was that about?
What is that?
I don't know, and I'm not sure what that's referring to, but I will just say that I'll repeat what I said before, which is that we're a sensitive part of negotiations. I will add that it's not. I've been through this before. It's not uncommon when negotiations are at this stage for nerves to get frayed. For emotions to be high, and we just have to manage our emotions and keep at the hard work that's required to go through and try to get a contract that represents fairness in our schools.
And I think a lot of folks understand that there've been, there's been a lot of movement in a lot of different areas. Right now, you're at the sensitive part. What are the areas where you all are having to work through? You're past the. Is it enforcement language? Is it class size? Is it giving back that prep time? Where's the rub?
It's the big outstanding issues that we've been talking about all along. It's about trying to get the adequacy on class size. It's about how we enforce staffing provisions. It's about trying to deal with our lowest paid members, the PSRPs and the special education classroom assistants. Also, what we do about the problem at the top of the pay scale, how we address teacher preparation time, and so those are, like we've been saying those all along. Those are the most important, and they're also difficult. So I won't say more than that, other than we're working on it.
Jesse, can you say something to the student athletes who have missed scholarship opportunities, visibility opportunities by colleges because of this strike?
Yeah, I like I said before, this is one of the really hard things about a strike, is that students who are competing in big games, that's going to be a more meaningful and important part of their experience in school than any math test. And that's not to sort of like try to diminish math. It's to say that athletics are really important. And I was an athlete in high school, and my Vice President Stacy was an athlete. My son is in CPS athletics, missing a tournament, and so I'm genuinely sorry for the disruption this strike has caused for students. This is something that wasn't their fault, and all I can say is that what we are trying to accomplish is we're dealing with short-term disruption and difficulty in the hope of trying to get conditions which improve public schools in Chicago for a long time, and that are going to make a meaningful difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And that's what motivates this. And I know the student athletes care for their coaches and have close relationships, and you better believe the coaches care for their athletes. And so, the other day we had a bunch of coaches into bargaining, and I can say literally that I saw 3 different grown men cry around this issue. And when we brought the coaches to the table to talk with CPS about what we need to do to fund sports and to make sports better, I think it had a real effect. And then we asked those coaches, how are you guys doing? Do we need to let you go back in and coach those games? And to a person, they told us, we need you to get a deal that makes our schools better. We're committed to our students, but we're also incredibly committed to the goals that you've seen teachers, members of SEIU, clinicians, and everyone else speaking up about this week. So we're going to keep doing that, and we're going to get it right. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, can I say one more thing, actually? Ann, come here. And Mike and Ann, come here. There's just one more thing. I don't want it lost, because I know that CPS is a big school system. But these two teachers right here, well, a teacher and a paraprofessional, work at Passages Charter School. And Passages Charter School went on strike on Tuesday, and last night about 11 o'clock.
It was actually more like 9.
Okay. Yesterday night, they got a tentative agreement, and that strike, they're going to go back to school. Provided the membership there approves that deal, are going to go back to school on Monday. So we know this can be done. Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
I know that was a lot of work there, and hopefully it will add to some momentum. Okay, thanks.
Has there been any issue with trying to split the union, so to speak, trying to maybe address some of your issues and leave SEIU and some of those paraprofessionals that you were advocating for as well?
Yeah, the question was whether or not we're worried about a split between the CTU and SEIU. And as you know, the service employees represent special education classroom assistants, bus aides, a lot of the lower paid workers in CPS. We also represent teachers' assistants and other people who are not paid a lot of money. In fact, a lot of those folks, make poverty level wages. And because of that, our unions are not divided. I mentioned earlier that that's a critical issue for us. Compensation for our lowest paid workers is an equity issue. It's something we're very committed to. And we intend to get a fair settlement for both groups and walk back into work together with our heads held high. Thank you, guys. I really do have to. I really do have to go. Yeah, I gotta get back to work. I'm sorry. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.